next problem is going to show you how to solve for the period of an object when given the length. A wrecking ball is used to demolish buildings, swings from a 10-meter long cable. What is the period of the wrecking ball as it swings? Again, the most important thing you're going to want to do with any word problem is identify your variables and identify what your unknown is. In this particular example, we have been given that the length of the wrecking ball, or the cable holding the wrecking ball, is 10 meters long. Okay, that is going to be the length of our pendulum, and what we're looking for is the period of it. So let's go ahead and set this up. Once again, we were given that the length of the pendulum is going to be 10 meters. We are going to go ahead and assume that this does take place on Earth. So gravity will be 9.81 meters per second squared. And they're asking us to find the period, which we denote with the letter T. Now remember that period is the time it takes to complete one cycle, so the units for this is going to be in seconds. All right, so let's take a look at our simple harmonic equation. We have period equal to 2 pi, and I'm putting this in parentheses to save us headaches, multiplied by the square of the length of the pendulum divided by gravity. Now, this is a simple plug-and-chuggy type of equation. All I'm going to do is replace the variables with the numbers that we have been given. We are still looking for t. 2 pi would be considered as a constant. And now, instead of L, I'm going to put in the value of L, which is 10 meters, over G, which is 9.8, whoops, this is supposed to be 9.81. That's what we use in this class. And so at this point then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start simplifying this mathematically. Okay, this will save me some headache and it'll save me some clutter. If you can go ahead and just type all of this in, feel free to do so. If you feel that you need a little bit more to the mathematics part of this, then I'm going to go ahead and take this in baby steps. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and solve for this part right here, 10 divided by 9.81. And I get a value of 1.019. Now it's okay to round here on paper, but you never want to round on the calculator itself. You want to leave the number intact. So we are given that t is equal to 2 pi multiplied by the square root of 1.019367,992. To make things simple on me and to try to minimize the number of mistakes that I might make when I'm typing into the calculator, what I'm going to do is show you guys how to use the answer feature. If you don't know this already, then this is going to be a quick lesson. If you know this already, I highly encourage you to use it. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this number in the calculator, and we want to tell the calculator to use all the decimal places and so that way we don't have to type it in. Since I'm looking for the square root of that number, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit second, which is the yellow button at the top, then I'm going to hit the x squared. You'll notice that here it's got a little yellow square root button, and when you do that, you'll see that the calculator puts in that square root. I want the square root of the number that we just calculated, so what you're going to do is you're going to hit second, and then down at the bottom where the negative sign is, you'll notice how it says ANS in yellow. When you click that, what you're going to see on the calculator is ANS, and what that does, it takes the previous answer that you just had and plugs it into place there. Go ahead and solve for that, and then that is the value that you get. So t equals to 2 pi 1.09637,555. At this point, because of the parentheses, all we need to do is simply multiply, and that will give us the value of t. All right, and to do that in the calculator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that number intact by simply pressing the multiplication button. You'll see once again that it has ANS on the display screen, and what that means is that the last answer you generated will be plugged back in. So it's going to be the answer multiplied by 2 pi. This is not 3.14. You don't want to introduce rounding error. So to get pi onto the calculator screen, you're going to hit the second button and you're going to hit the caret. Right above it, you'll notice in yellow there is a pi symbol, and then pi will show up on your screen. Type in enter, and then it will give you the period, which is 6 point, because on Moodle you can round your final answers to 6.3 seconds. And that's it.